Hello, bonjour, I'm Christine from Paris. I'm a French-American lawyer and buyer's agent, and I'm going to give you some tips on what it's like to own property in Paris. So stay tuned. So today we're going to talk about what is it like to own property in Paris. Do you own a piece of land? And does it come with a parking lot? Can you rent it? Can you rent your space on Airbnb when you're abroad? What is a syndic? When you're a property owner in Paris, you own the apartment that you bought, but also part of the common areas of the building that you're sharing with the co-owners. When you buy an apartment in Paris, it may also come with a cave, which is in the basement and is usually used to store any suitcases or items that you don't usually use on a daily basis. And you have to know that the cave is usually not paved, so it's usually dirt floor. Your apartment may also come with a parking space in the basement of your building or in the basement of an adjacent building. Most Parisians don't own a car, so what they usually do is that they rent out that parking space, which means they make an extra income. That may be a good thing for you to do as well. The syndic de copropriété represents the co-owners of the building and is responsible for the administrative part, any decisions on making repairs, paying maintenance. Co-owners meet annually to discuss repairs, budget, to renew the syndic, and to vote on who will represent them as co-owners. They also may meet more often than once a year to discuss any urgent matters. Co-owners are required to pay a quarterly fee prorated to the size of their apartment they own. When you consider buying an apartment, that quarterly fee will be conveyed to you so you know what to expect. So as a property owner, can you rent your apartment on Airbnb? Paris has very strict rules in terms of renting on Airbnb and any other such type of platform because there's a shortage of residential apartments in Paris. So that mayor tries to restrict that type of rental, especially because also it's a competition to hotels and bed and breakfast. The rules in Paris and in other large cities in France, if you own an apartment for residential purposes only, you can rent your apartment on Airbnb for no more than 120 days per year. If you're interested in buying an apartment so that you could live in Paris for just a few months a year and the rest of the time rent it out, you have two options. One option is to sign a mobility lease with either a student or an expat on a temporary mission or a professional who is on a temporary mission. So basically that type of mobility lease is a lease for no more than 10 months per year. But of course you can choose the length, but no more than 10 months per year. Another option for you is to buy a mixed-use apartment. A mixed-use apartment is an apartment that can be used both as a residential apartment and for commercial purposes. A perfect example of that is an office used for a therapist. A therapist will usually use a regular apartment, but it is registered as a commercial use. A space that looks like a typical Parisian apartment, but it is used for professional purpose. So of course, if you're interested in buying an apartment in Paris, live there for a few months, a year, and then rent it out on a platform such as Airbnb, I can help you with that. And that can be very exciting to renovate an apartment so that it's exactly as you wish. Well, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to watch other videos that I've published so far and to get my free guide on buying property from abroad. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. Bye bye. Au revoir et à bientôt. My free guide on how to buy property in Paris from overseas is available on this channel and on Instagram.